What's good, Elevators? It's your boy Elevation here with another episode of the JBP Elevated, where we speak on the Joe Budden podcast and all of his co-hosts on and off the pod. Shout out to JBP. Shout out to the team. They are working. I thought they had dubbed BTS. I remember suggesting they just make BTS its own show, Mark and Ian, or Ian and Mark show its own show. They saw the success from the Ian and Mark show, and it looked like they shelved the BTS series. So I was like, damn, we lost one. But things change. Now, given that they release the Ian and Mark show on Thursdays, they have BTS seemingly coming out on Sundays, which would be a good look. You can get a whole week's worth of content in one episode instead of having to seemingly force episodes out. Now you got the team on board because this was the most engaged I've seen all of them in the same episode. So shout out to the team for finally getting the gist of what can happen if you put your best foot forward. But now I'm showing a little concern because Ian is a fresh new father. And if any of y'all watch Podwives, y'all know the dynamic between Ian and Jules. She's going to let him know, I need you here at the house. You aren't being the father that I anticipated you being if he puts too much effort into the Ian and Mark show or just being in the daily workings of the JBN. I anticipate seeing Ian a whole lot less for at least a 6 to 9 month period. I'm telling you right now, we already missed an episode of the Ian and Mark show, and we'll attribute that to his daughter being born. Or son. I believe it's a daughter, but we'll say either or for the moment. Mark made an appearance on BTS. He's letting it be known, I'm not going anywhere. Ian continued the show without Mark. Let's see if Mark does the same without Ian, because Ian is not going to be able to show face the way he once was and the way he just was. That being said, are they going to have another gap? Are we going to have a Thursday slot open and then we just need something for Tuesdays? Or are they going to continue without Ian? Because the same way they did the FaceTime call in with Mark, anticipate seeing that a lot with Ian. I like how they are segueing, or not segueing, but introducing the interviews that are coming up. And this interview that's coming up could be a big deal as well. The main reason that the people that are complaining about the interviews, myself included, are complaining about the interviews is not because y'all are interviewing so many people. There's too many successful podcasts that are interview-based for that to be a thing. It's because y'all are interviewing the people that are clearly going on press runs. And Joe, we view you too highly in the space. If you're going to be a part of the press run package, make sure you're the first part of the press run package. Don't be the latter. I understand you're doing your own tactics, which is why you're putting these interviews on Patreon. But as far as the prestige that goes with your name in this space, we need you to be a front runner in these press runs. If it's going to be a press run, we don't need it to know, or we don't need to know that's a press run. So switch that, and I know you have the means and the words to get that or to make that happen. Because people are calling you now. But this JD interview is a big interview because now the big boys are coming out to play. I'm not saying you haven't gotten a big interview, but when you got a big interview in the past, it was treated as such. Now these niggas are coming quicker, and they're hitting you up to come solely based off of the things you say. So that's two things. We have to be more engaging on the topics, especially when it's a celebrity-based topic or a big figure in the space. Because they're listening to the podcast clearly, and if they aren't, someone around them is, and they're going to listen to a clip and send it in their way. So whether it's good or bad, we want them to come up here to quote-unquote express themselves, because that's kind of how Joe Rogan operates. And he just gets a plethora of people to come. I already gave you the idea to let Melissa tap into her Hollywood settings and y'all start interviewing more actors. You've had Omar Epps up there a couple of times. Invest into that black celebrity space outside of music, because it's clear that you enjoy doing the interviews, because Newsflash, you don't have to come up with that many topics. You just have to do your research on the person that you're interviewing. But you don't want to stagnate the music side of the interviews by getting all the big guests, because you're going to be able to get the big guests early and quick. You want to be able to have some diversity in there. And what is better than having an A-list actor or actress, especially in the hip-hop medium or black actor, actress medium. But shout out to them for coming up with the BTS. It was an hour long. They got a bunch of episodes in there, so I hope they do it weekly if they are going to come back with it. Everybody will be more engaged. They were speaking on things that back in the day, the old school JVP heads know. Whenever Joe used to speak about, oh, you should have heard what we were talking about in the kitchen, it's giving those vibes again. So if they can continue that, they'll have another hit. And I saw a lot of the comments on Patreon. They were happy that they brought it back, because everybody wasn't a fan of Ian and Mark. It was just a hit. And that's the thing about having a network. You want to diversify. You don't want to, unless you want to be classified as a one-lane network, unless you want to be known as an ESPN. But that's why they're trying to branch off. That's why they keep adding sports. So, of course, they're learning the game plan and they're laying out the blueprint for us. But when you see the play, you kind of want to make sure they're going in the right direction. So if you can assist, you can assist. Shout out to them for the BTS. Check it out if you haven't. I appreciate all the support on the channel. Appreciate all the support on the Patreon. I appreciate y'all supporting Twitter and Instagram, even though I am neglecting the hell out of them. I need to do better. Social media is just not my thing. So I appreciate y'all showing support on there. I'm going to get better. I have to do a little bit of editing. I got to come up with some new titles. I got to come up with some new thumbnails. I'm trying to come up with some designs and be consistent instead of constantly changing this shit up. So y'all give me some ideas in the comment section. Y'all let me know. I'll see y'all tomorrow, though. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe to the page if you haven't. If you have, you already know how we rocking. You already know what it is with us, man. You already know what it is. But I'll see y'all soon. Peace.